Hello teacher, my name is Liza and I am from Team 5 Group A. And my team member, we have Khoun Sovansunchhay, I'm Ormrethtihpong, Rattanakpanha, Liza, and me. For our team web application project, we decided to go with dentist website booking because we wanted to create a website where users can book their dentist appointment through online booking to make it easier and more convenient. And as for the content of my presentation, we're going to be talking about the functions and features, tools that we use on our project prototype, and last, our demo. So, one, our functions and features. Some of our main functions and features is user-friendly front end. We have doctor schedule where doctor can check and manage their schedules. Patient appointment. Patient appointment is like we can set appointment for each patient. Prescription, invoice, payment, user management is that admin can manage user. Email, which can doctors and patients can send email to each other, and as well as SMS. Now moving on to the tools that we use. For our main tools, we use VS Code, GitHub, Discord, Laravel, and Figma. All of these tools are very essentials for our project because they are the place that we stored and created our codes, as well as Discord we use for communication. Now moving on into our project prototype, I'm going to be demonstrating a little bit about our UI design. So as you can see here in our Figma, this is the homepage of our project. So when you enter, there's the homepage. You can see pictures, and you can also book appointment through the little button on top. And scrolling down, there's also more homepage where you can see the informations of doctors and all of that. And here is the UI of contact page, so you can send messages to doctors if you have any questions that you wanted to ask. And here is the doctor information page, so you can see the information of each doctor. And as for here is the book appointment page. It's very similar with contact page, except you booked an appointment through it. And below here is the admin page. So an admin kind of it's like a doctor account where doctors can control and can manage the patient list and their patient information. They can also set appointment times and schedule, and also manage income and appointment dates and their schedule as well. And now let's get into our demo, which will be demonstrated by my friend.
Hello teacher, my part in this project for the front end, I do the home page that have slider. You can click here to go to the next slide, or click here to go to the previous slide. And also you can click here for the specific slide. It also works as well. And we going down, we have the detail of the home page and the service that we have. Also the doctor. At the bottom we have the another slide that also work like the first slide as well. For the bottom here, we have the footer that give us the detail of our location and our contact, like the phone number or the social media link. Also here, the information, we can use it like we use the navigation bar as well. When we want to see the doctor, you can click here or at the navigation bar. Or we can go see the service and go back to the home page. Also, our project page and our responsive. When you're responsive, our navigation bar become the drop down and have the object that have like a normal navigation bar, and it works as well. And now we go into the appointment. For the backend, and handle the mail sender by creating the app password and link it to our Laravel project. When you book the appointment that our friend make it will send it to your email automatically. Please wait because it's sending the mail to our inbox. So when we check our inbox, here is a new mail that we booked the appointment. So we have to wait for the doctor or the admin confirm our booking. Here, when we I'm gonna example it in the admin. When we are solved the appointment, because it's sending the email, so it might be slow. So here, when they accept your appointment, they will send you the email that you are getting confirmed your required appointment with the doctor that you choose, or the the random doctor that we provide, and the time that you're booking. Also, if they decline your appointment, it's also gonna send it to your email here. So they will tell us that our appointment is not available on the time that we are booking. That's all for my part. Thank you, teacher.
Hello teacher and hello everyone. My name is Khoun Rattanakpanha. So thank you Liza for demonstrations about her homepage that she has done, as well as thank you Sunshine for doing the navigation bar. I am responsible for the services pages, our doctor's page and appointment front end. Our website display is completely responsive because we use Tailwind CSS to style our website. So first, let's go to the services. We have the services pages that have all the services that Smileline Clinic offer. We have orthodontic, dental implant treatment, oral hygiene, and as well as other stuff. So the patients can come to our website and this page to review, as well as learn more about our service before they book the appointment with the doctors. So let's move to our doctors. We have our specialist doctor for different specializations. So this UI we make this UI and it is responsive as well as dynamic. So if we want to add another doctor, we can add it with we can log in and go to the admin page and as well as add the new doctor, and the new doctor will be displaying here. So this doctor are dynamic. So if the patients come to our website and for example if he or she want to book the appointment with this doctor, they can click on the doctor and it will show the detail about it, the specific doctor for their specialty, spoken qualification and something like that. And by showing the profile of the doctor, and they can click make the appointment. So it will come down to the application form. They can fill the information, name, last name, phone number, as well as email, and they select their date of birth and the appointment date that they want to meet with the doctor. And they can leave any message about the symptoms and click book now, and it will pass the information to our database, and our doctor as well as our admin will review the request. So back to another one. If we click on another doctor like Rattanakpanha, it will pass the name to the book appointment as well. Same to here. So our pages is completely dynamic. And if the patient does not have the doctor in mind, so a new patient can come to an appointment and he or she can literally book here by not specify the doctor. They can fill the name, last name, phone number, email, and something like that, and book now. So it also pass the information directly to our database, and our admin will review the request to approve or decline or reschedule, something like that. And if any doctors are available, they can accept the appointment forms. So that's all for my part. The next part, my friend will demonstrate more. Thank you.
Hello teacher, my name is Ormrethtihpong. So in this section, I'm going to give you a quick demo about the functions that I did for the dental clinic projects. So most of my contributions are in the backend function, starting with the authentication, which I built from scratches, managing the doctor account, like create, change password, and edit. Same with the treatment procedures and the functions for the doctor to accept the patient's appointment, decline them, and generate receipt for them. So let's get started. Here's the login page. So there are two account types, which are admin and the doctor. The difference between the admin account type and the doctor is that the admin can manage the doctor and the treatment procedures and check the mailbox for the appointment that doesn't have the appointed doctor yet. But for the doctor account type, they cannot register a new doctor or remove other doctor account, or they cannot register a new treatment, but they can accept, decline the patient's schedule, or they can reschedule, and they can generate an invoice for the patient. So if I log in right now, it will automatically check the account type of the account, and based on the account type, it will redirect you to the correct dashboard. So here's the admin account. As you can see, they can register a new doctor. Let's type home. I'm going to register a quick test. And the password must be at least 6 characters. So I'm going to put 8. This one can be nil, and of course they can upload their photo. I'm going to test with this. Let's sign up. Here's the new doctor with the info that we just put. And if I want to update their information, I can just go in here and type like backend dev. When I click update, it's going to show us this message. So now if I want to change the password, the old password is a 1 until 8, but if I type it only 7, it will tell us that the old password is incorrect, invalid credential. So now I'm going to type the old password correctly and the new password. And success. That's it for the doctor functions. And also you can remove the account here. If I click remove, it will remove from the database. For the treatment procedures, they are the same, but for treatments you can create them. You create them, you can edit them. Here, and of course you can remove them. And here's the mailbox for the admin. What's different is that they can go into this general mailbox. It will display all the appointment requests which doesn't have the appointed doctor yet. So the admin have the ability to assign the doctor for the patient by themselves. Like if I want this for this doctor, I can click accept. I don't know why this is taking long, because when you click accept, it will send an email to this email address. Okay, so now I'm going to move to the doctor account. The default password is 1234, and here's the doctor account. As you can see, they cannot manage the doctor's account, but they can check their own patient, which is Sunchhay 11 that I appointed earlier. In their mailbox, they have 2 pending patients waiting for them to waiting for the doctor to accept. Okay, now the doctor have 2 lists, and the doctor can reschedule, remove, and generate the receipt. So let's say if the doctor finished treating their patients, and now they want to create a receipt for them, they can just click that. The information is loaded right here, and you can create a receipt. Teeth whitening, $100. You can generate a receipt, and then it will ask us if we want to print out the invoice. If I say print, then it will save it, and it will change from the payment status to paid. And you can see in this filter list the former patient, the patient that already paid. So now if we want to remove that patient, that because this patient is already done, we don't want them to stay in our list anymore, we can just remove them. But if you can go into the account, we can check this. Now I'm going to remove them. So that's it for my part, and I'm going to let my friend Sunchhay explain next.
Hello teacher, I am Khoun Sovansunchhay. So for our web final project, I'm mainly responsible for creating the backend functions, but I also had some part doing the front end one, the front end view, to make them more dynamic. So I helped the team making the service page dynamic so that when the project gets bigger, we can easily add the service and it will work fine because everything is seated in the database. Same thing for the doctor function. It is read from the database, so when a new doctor is registered, it will show here. Okay, so that's that for me making the front end for the user page. So one more thing is I also create the book appointment function. So in this function, we had to, so the patient or the user can either click on this appointment button so that they can book an appointment. So this one is mainly for the users who has never visited our clinic, but they want to book an appointment. So they can just provide their information without specifying the doctor's name. Okay, so let's have a test for this function. I'll be giving the first name of book and no doctor, so that we can easily check out later in the admin dashboard. Okay, so for this phone number and email, these fields are required because we want the doctor to easily contact the patient in case there's any changes to their appointment. So when the patient wants to book this appointment, it will pop an error message. Okay, so let's give them a phone number and an email. But for this date of birth field, it is optional, so the user can either just, it's for their privacy, so they can either provide a date of birth or not, it's fine. But for the appointment, it's also required because it doesn't really make sense if the patient book an appointment without a date. So let's give it this date, and I'm going to leave a message. Hello, I'd like appointment. Okay, so let's go now. So it will take a bit of time because our team created a function to send an email to that patient to make sure that they know that their appointment has successfully booked. And we also provide them with a small text here just for a user experience. Okay, so that's that for the appointment with no doctor. So now let's specify a doctor. Okay, so we can go to this our doctor's page and let's book for Dr. Rattanakpanha. Okay, so here as you can see, this field shows the doctor's name, and everything is the same as the appointment. So the first name, last name, phone number, email are required. So let's fill it out. Let's call it book for Rattanakpanha. Okay, so that we can easily know what we did in the admin page. I'm going to just give the patient this name. Okay, so let's give it a phone number again. This is optional. Going to give this date, and let's have this field empty. Okay, so I'm going to book again. Again, it will take quite some time because we are sending an email to that patient. Okay, and when it is finished sending an email and everything, it will pop up a small message. Appointment has been successfully booked. So that's that for my part for the user experience. Okay, so now let's check out the sign in. Okay, so first things first, I'm going to log into the admin account. Okay, so here, in the admin page, I handle creating the update function for each doctor, so the admin can easily update the information of the doctor. So let's try it out. I'm going to change the name to Sunshine or something, and we can click on update, and when we click update, it will pop up this small pop-up message to make sure that the admin didn't make any mistakes and change the doctor information. So when we click on cancel, it will refresh the page and everything is back to normal. But if we update it to, let's just try again, we're going to update it, so yes, I'm sure, and it will pop up this small message. And yeah, it has now successfully updated the doctor's information, and everything here is done and saved into the database, but I will not be showing the database. Okay, so that's a small function that I had part in creating. So now let's check out the mailbox. So as you can see here, there's a lot of mailbox for each doctor. So this is the mailbox for Dr. Sunchhay, this is the mailbox for Dr. Rattanakpanha, and so on. And as you can see here, there's also one mailbox that doesn't really have a doctor's name. So this mailbox only filters out all the mail that for all the patients that didn't specify any doctor. So as you can see here, book no doctor, the appointment that we booked earlier. Okay, so I've also handled creating this small view displaying the partial information of that patient. So we can click on this and it will pop up all the information about that specific patient. So as you can see here, the message that they left, hello, I'd like to make an appointment, and the date above didn't specify, so it's empty, and and this is the appointment that they booked. So here I've also had part in creating the reschedule function. So let's try to reschedule them to the 10th. Okay, so the 10th of June. So when we click on reschedule, it will update in the database, and we can either also click on this send message button, but I'm not going to click it just to save some time. So let's go back and check out one more mail, Rattanakpanha. So as you can see here, earlier we booked an appointment with Dr. Rattanakpanha. So it only appeared in Rattanakpanha's IM's mailbox, but I'm not going to accept the appointment yet. But everything is the same here. Yeah, okay. So, and one more thing is the search function. Okay, so the search function here at the admin account, it is a global search, meaning it will search every patient that is available for all the doctors. So it will search the patient that is available for Dr. Sunchhay, for Dr. Rattanakpanha, for Dr. Rattanakpanha, and so on, even if that specific doctor doesn't have that patient. I want to make it global. Okay, so let's try it. I'm going to search for Sunchhay. Okay, so as you can see here, it will pop up every patient that has the name Sunchhay, the first name or the last name. Okay, and this pagination is also a bit special. When we click on the next page, as you can see, the search query didn't disappear, but it appends so that it doesn't change the result when we want to check the next page in case there's a lot of patients with that name. Okay, so that's that. And in the search function, we can either search it with the first name. In this case, I use the first name, or we can search it using the last name as well, but I can't really demonstrate by using the last name. But here, okay, let's try searching with the last name Doctor. Okay, so here, as you can see, it works. And we can also search by using the ID. So let's search for ID 7. Okay, so as you can see here, but since this one has the last name of 7, so it also appears as well. But this one has an ID, so it appears. And this one has, yeah, so it works fine. So let's try one more scenario where it doesn't return any results. Okay, so as you can see here, I've also handled this situation. If there's no patient with such ID name or like first name or last name, it will pop up this message. Okay, so that's that for my search function, and I think we can go check out the other doctor's account. Okay, so I'm going to log into Dr. Rattanakpanha's account, and as you can see here, I've created this front page for each doctor. So when they get into their dashboard, they can see how many patients are waiting for them to attend. The total revenue, but this total revenue is the total for all of the doctors' revenue. Yeah, so basically, it is the revenue that the clinic has made. This chart as well, it is according to this revenue. So here at 4:23, this a doctor has made $3, and at 4:24 or something, the doctor has made $21. Okay, so we can click on this pending patient to directly go to that page. Okay, here, pending patient. So it's wait. Okay, so pending patients mean all of the patients that is available. This one is available, but only the one that did not paid. So here, as you can see, there's 3. Okay, so the doctor has the ability to either reschedule, same thing as the admin, and they can easily navigate through here. So when we click on this, I think you can, the doctor will see an overview of that patient's information. So it will see their name, the message, and yeah, and the doctor can reschedule their next appointment. Okay, so let's try this. And my friend already demonstrated this function. When we click on reschedule, the payment status will change. Okay, but I'm not going to reschedule yet. Okay, so let's check out this view for a little bit more. I've also handled creating this small list. So this list will list all of the available patients that is pending for the doctor to attend, so that when the doctor is checking one patient's info, they can easily navigate through this list to go to other patients. So let's try to go into this patient. Okay, here. And let's go back. Okay, so one more thing about this view is, as you can see, there's an invoice record. So this one, since the doctor or since this patient hasn't been attended to yet or hasn't paid, the invoice record is null. So no invoice yet. But since this patient has visited 2 times, as you can see here, appointment count 2 times, there's now 2 invoices. Okay, so it will have all of this information. And yeah, I've also handled creating this small view. Okay, it will list out down here. So let's test that feature out first before we move on. So I'm going to test Sunchhay 3. Okay, so let's click Pay Now. I'll give it some information. Let's try places and generate. Okay, so now Sunchhay 3 should have an invoice record. Okay, here, braces. And in this invoice record, it will pop up the same, so that the doctor can easily see all of their history of patients that they attend to. Okay, and in this mailbox, as you can see here, there's one mail. The book for Rattanakpanha that we booked earlier in the user page. So the doctor can do pretty much the same thing as the admin. They can check out the information for this patient, navigate through here, see the patient count and stuff. Okay, so that's that. And as you can see here, the chart change. Since one of the patient paid $2,700 or the doctor has received this amount of money, the graph has changed dramatically and accurately. As you can see here, according to the time, 424 only $21, but 443 they earned $2,700. Okay, so that's that. And for the search function. So the search function is a bit different from the admin one because it's only search for all the patients that this doctor have. So as you can see from before, when we searched for Sunshine, there was a lot of result. But since this doctor only has 2 patients with the name Sunshine, it only displays 2. Okay, but and everything just works the same as the admin, but it just filters for all the patients that booked for this doctor. Okay, so yeah. And I've also handled creating this filter function. So the default will display everyone without any order. The former patients, meaning the patient that has paid, so it will only display that. So let's try it out. As you can see, it only displays the patient that has the payment status of paid because yeah, they technically just the former patients. Okay. As for the pending one, are all the patients that the doctor has approved but he didn't attend to yet. And this A to Z it just filters the patients alphabetically. So let's try that out. Sun S B, and we can click on it again to rearrange. Okay, B S K, and for this ID it will rearrange or filter the patients by the ID. So here 1665, we can click again to rearrange 5616. Okay, yeah. So that's that for my small filter function, and I think that's everything from my part. So I will leave the rest to my next team member who will be presenting next. Okay. Oh, and one more thing I forgot to add is, so we're now back at the admin page. So when the admin tries to check out the information for this doctor, and please do remember that this doctor has created about 3 invoices as we did earlier. So let's go. So in this here, it will display all of the admin can see all of the patients that this doctor has attended to. So yeah, so they will display everything. The admin will know the invoice number, the invoice date, and the total value of that invoice. Or the admin can also click on one of the patient's name and go check out their information, and it will pop the same view. Okay, so one last function I'd like to add is this register a new doctor. So this function, I think my friend already demonstrated, but I'd like to just use it again for one last thing I mentioned in the start of my part. So I'm going to register a new doctor. So let's name it test. Test at Gmail. Password. We can skip these fields, and I'm going to give a picture. So I'm going to give a picture. So let's leave this black image. Right. So let's sign up. So that's now in the system. So let's go back to the main page. So at the start of the video, I did mention something about this page being dynamic, and as you can see here, it is dynamic. So the new doctor that we just added is now in the home page, and the user can now book an appointment for this doctor, and everything will be shown here. The image is a little strange because I think it's not the website, it's just the image that I provided. Okay, so as you can see here, it will show everything that the doctor provided for the admin, and the user can just make an appointment the same as these doctors. Okay, so that's that, and everything for what I did for this final project, and I will leave the rest to my team members.